This is too expensive. $800 for a resume, $1,000 for a resume. I'm not paying this. Shit, somebody do.
Somebody does.
Every time. But in March, we did like 30, I think we did like $50,000 in the month of March. And we've increased ever since we had our first 6-figure month in 2023. I think the highest we've made in any given month is like $130,000.
If at anything, what would you do different?
I'll do a fucking sermon on this, but
Hey y'all, my name is Gina, and you are now tuned into your favorite 6-figure chick podcast. I will be interviewing your own Shaque'l and her journey through side hustle to CEO. So I want to start by asking you, how has your journey been? Start off from the beginning.
Shit.
And tell us now, how has it been?
Yeah. It's been busy. Is what I would say. It's like very much when you first have like the idea, like so I have a lot of business ideas all the time. Like this is not anything new. I'm like, I'll start a business. I'll do this. I tell myself no perpetually of like, you do not need to launch anything else. But when I got started, it was an accident. So I tell people that all the time, like for this business in particular, at the time, Black Girl Luxury TikTok was a thing. Like everybody was like, this is what I do. Da, da, da. And so I saw a video one day that was like, Black Girl Luxury TikTok, how do y'all have all this money? And I was like, well, I don't know if I count. Like, I'm not sure if I have money, but like, I work in tech. This is what I do. I'm a sales trainer. And I think I did like a tour of my apartment or something like that, because I have a nice apartment. So I did a tour of my apartment. And that video, I thought went viral. It got like 3,000 views. And I was like, fuck yeah, call Nike. Give me a brand deal. And I thought everything was great until the next day. I was just like, well, might as well make a video introducing myself, because my TikTok at that point was like 6 videos of just random stuff. And so I made a video 3 minutes long, which is like unheard of in like 2020 TikTok, like time, 2021 TikTok time. But I made like a 3-minute long video introducing myself and being like, great, I work in tech. This is how I got here. Da, da, da. That video got 300,000 views. And I was like, oh, that's what going viral really looks like. Got it. And so people started asking for help. I just started making videos, and, I would be like, oh, you can DM me. You can send me your resume for free. And I, at some point, had 500 unread emails on LinkedIn. And I was like, cool, this takes up enough of my time that we need to charge somebody something. I don't care if it's $2. I'm charging somebody something. And so I started with just reviewing resumes for like $15. And then over the course of about a year, we completely scaled from there. And I say we now, at the time it was just me, but now we have a team. But over the course of about a year, we scaled, and I needed to hire people, and I needed to, just so many things. We got, even that first time, we did like $6,000. And keep in mind, at $15 a resume, how many orders we had to have gotten to get like $6,000. And so I was just like, oh, I made it. Now I kept my job, because I was just like, I don't know about this. Like, I'm not sure. And so it was still very side hustly. But at some point, it just really did start to take up a lot of my time. And loved my job for a little bit. But then at some point, I was like, fuck that job. Fuck these people. I'm going to leave. And
Tell
I'm
us
this full
about
time.
that turning point.
About
that turning point.
Just, we...
So she calls me like, I don't know, probably like January or February, something early.
Oh, yeah. It was
just like, I'm going to leave my job in like May. And I was like, all right, cool, give you
So I worked for TikTok. That's the key point here, is that I worked for TikTok, and I had stock in TikTok isn't a publicly traded company yet, but you get like something called RSUs, which is like reserve or restricted stock units. And so I got some when I got hired, and then I would get some every year when my year came up, and my year technically was in May. That is why I was trying to stay till May. So like, I didn't actually care about staying till May. I wanted to stay for my stocks, and I wanted to stay because that is when the payout for our bonuses is. So it was on purpose. There was a plan.
There was a plan. It was a plan, and you did not follow through.
Did not follow the plan. I put my notice in on January 30th, and I left February 14th was my last day. The business, honestly, I made poor life choices. I have no clue why I did that, but it really was just like going out on like a ledge and trying to see what happened. So we had our first, I started in 2021 in like the fall, right? Like October or something like that. I took my first payment in like November of 2021. And then, so I really kind of count the business starting, I say 2022. So 2022, I on average made $6,000 to $7,000 a month doing this business. And so like, that was cool and all, but I made 10 grand a month for TikTok. So like, it's just like,
where's the math? Like, what?
This is like nice extra money, but like, this is not taking over, you know, my income from my full-time job. And so January came around and we did $35,000. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, fuck this job. Immediately, I was just like, I don't need to be here. I don't need you anymore. You can have it. And so, but what's crazy is that I put my notice in, and in February, we only made $10,000. And by we, again, I mean me. I was still a entrepreneur, single employee at that time. But we made $10,000 in February, and I don't know where that idea came from. Like I just, and like work, to be very clear, I was not enjoying my time as an employee. I was having some trouble with like leadership and just getting like the feedback that I needed and the support that I needed to execute at like the level in which they required of me. Right. And so I do not do ambiguity. I hate that. So it's just like, oh, you can't give me an answer. I will make the answer for myself, and that's to leave. Fuck you. So I quit. But in February, I only made $10,000, and I laugh because I don't remember that. If you ask me how much money we made in February, I will always tell you like, oh, like 20, 25K.
Like, you will.
Every time we go look it up, I'm like, that was 10 grand. We made 10.
Be like, I just think
we made 10 grand
every time.
And I was just so confident about it. Like, I was just like, this is great. And the thing is like $10,000. So again, I said I made $10,000 from TikTok and a paycheck, but like I made $10,000 after taxes, after all the things, after insurance, all of that stuff. So I had $10,000 in cash a month.
Money.
10 grand as an entrepreneur is not actually 10 grand. You got to pay taxes and you got to pay for your own health insurance. And also if you have overhead. And so great news is this is like as a digital product, you know, business is service-based business. So we get to keep a lot of our money, which I really do love. We don't have like really high overhead costs, but nonetheless, that 10 dropped down to like 6 or 7 real quick. Like the government wants 30% immediately. Right. So, you know, it was just like that. It wasn't the same amount of money. It seemed like it was, but it was not. And so, yeah, I am very grateful to, you know, the universe, the person in the sky, whatever. That like, I didn't feel that, because like, had I felt it, I would have been scared. And I would have been like, can I have my job back? Like, I would actually still like to work here, but it worked out. I didn't. And in March, I was still by myself, but in March we did like we did like $50,000 in the month of March. And we've just been we've increased ever since we had our first 6-figure month, in 2023. I think the highest we've made in any given month is like $130,000. So it is scaled. Well, that's how we went, literally from side hustle to CEO. Like this is how it went. So yeah, that's the backstory.
How do you feel? So you mentioned that you went from $10,000 to 135.
Yeah, I think it was like 135. Yeah.
So from that number, is there any number where you were like, oh shit, we need to make?
Oh, the numbers, I always feel like we need to make more money. I keep hiring people, y'all. I just keep hiring people. We need everybody though. Like that's the thing. It's like I have to have people to like provide the service. But yeah, I think that the first time we hit $130,000 month, because that seems to be like our spot. So like, you know, like putting it out here, right now, y'all gonna hear, we gonna make more than $130,000 in a month this year, because that is our like spot, right? We generally, I think like 134 and some change is like the highest we've ever gotten. Even when we do any of our 6-figure months, generally cap out around that spot. And so the thing is like, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, I have to realize that like we're capping out because we run out of space. Right. Which is why I have to hire more bodies. Right. But I just, at some point, once I started hiring people, I was like, we have to do 6-figure months. Like we have a team of 10, there are 10 people, I think. I don't know. There's so many bodies. But we have like a team of 10 people. And so like we have to, and like great news. I practice what I preach. So I don't talk shit about organizations not paying their employees well, not giving them good benefits, not giving them time off. So I do all of those things as a small business owner, as a Black femme-owned business owner. All of my employees get 20 days of PTO. And to be honest, they take whatever amount of PTO they want, as long as they don't take 3 fucking weeks off in a row. Insurance is 100% paid for by me and by this organization. Like we have great benefits. And so that's where we have to do 100K every month. Like there's no other option, because I got to pay everybody and make sure that people are paid like adequately and sufficiently. And I also got to pay my fucking self. Like I didn't get into business to work, for myself to like struggle. I also just I don't believe in struggling in general. I think struggling is fucking stupid. And as like Black people, we get told that this is what it's like. You just have to struggle. You just have to put in the work and then you'll get there. And it's just like, why can't this actually just be easy? why is there a requirement for like struggle? So like also like I pay myself fucking well. Like I like to eat. I like to eat. I like to travel. And like I'm not gonna tell me no. The CFO hates it, but here
buy whatever you want.
Baby.
That's why somebody asked me a question. Oh, should I get that? Yep.
You should.
And I'm the wrong
every
person
time.
to ask.
What? Don't ask me. If you were trying to say me. Do not talk to me.
Don't talk to me. You trying to say money? Like Kaya's talking about, oh, should I get? Yeah, you should. That. You should. Yeah, I can't ask.
Which one of these pedicures should I go for? The highest one. That one sounds great. They put gold in it. That sounds wonderful. I don't know why it matters.
You got the hip with the little fishies on your feet. It's gonna weigh you about 200. Get all that.
Fuck it. Why not? Just don't ask me if you need to save money. I'm the wrong person.
I'm the wrong person. And you mentioned great benefits. Yeah. And we do have great benefits. You know, I've been fixing these teeth for about 4 weeks. Bro, every week I'm in the dentist. I'm like, oh, what I need? I need a crown.
We got something. You can go ahead and just sign up for that.
Just sign up. I need veneers. I don't even need them. But you're like,
can I get these? Is it cover my insurance?
You gonna hook me up? Like, yeah, it's costed. I said, okay, well, we talk about that later. But I need you to hook the rest of this now.
Let's fix the rest of it,
bro. But I love it. I love it. I love it. What would you change if at anything? What would you do different?
I would have figured out how to scale my business without having to hire people first.
That makes sense.
Like anybody who's doing entrepreneurial work. So I'll do a fucking sermon on this, but as entrepreneurs, oftentimes we trade our time for money. And we have to stop trading our time for money and trade our like knowledge for money. You are paying me for my expertise, not for how fucking long it took me to do it. So no, you can't get. So I used to do, which is why I told you we started capping out, and that's every time I had to hire new people. So I used to do one-on-ones, like hour-long one-on-ones, right? But I could only take so many of those, and I realized that, like I was like, I'm burnt out doing these. I can't take more because I'm already at capacity, right? But I want to make more money. How the fuck do I make more money unless I duplicate myself, right? And I hire more people. But I know too that there's a premium cost of working with me that people will pay that they won't pay to work with other people, regardless of whether I taught them, whether they're on my team. It doesn't matter. There is a number that like people will stop at for the team that they won't. Like they'll let me do whatever. Like they'll be like, $2,000, done. Paid for it. Finished. I'll do whatever. Right, like, one-on-one time with Shaque'l, it's done. And so I just realized I started to burn out. And to fix that, I hired bodies to take on more clients. And today, like the business model that we run today is that we have like do-it-yourself options, right? We're building a course right now. And by the time this comes out, I'm sure the course will be live. It's called The Accelerator. You should absolutely join it. But like we have this online coursework, right, that people can take, and then they can increase their level of support as like the dollars increase, if that's something that they need. But like that is a scalable thing. And if I had figured out how to create a course before, I could have pulled back from doing one-on-ones and could have just sold a fucking course and made bank off of doing. So like that's like, I truly believe in like digital products and services. I love service-based businesses because I have another business that's a skincare business. So it's physical product. And like you lose money immediately. I got to buy the jar. I got to buy the lid. I got to buy the postage. I got to buy the box, like all of these things. So I lose like half that money off rip. But when it comes to service-based business, like great, there's no overhead cost. The overhead cost is paying me. The overhead cost is paying you. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And so I would just always suggest to do those, but stop trading your time for money. A lot of entrepreneurs are like, I'll give you 1 hour of my time for this much dollars. And instead it should be, I will give you this transformation for this many dollars. This is the thing I'm going to change for you. This is the outcome, the impact that I'm going to have. How much is that worth to you to pay me? And it might take us 2 hours. It might take us 10, which is why you got to price appropriately, right? But at the end of the day, like, great, you are paying me for my knowledge. You are not paying me for my time. I can do this in 20 minutes and then we're good. Like,
absolutely. Yes. You could. So I love how you talk about that, and people will pay. Yeah. You know, like top dollar for you, all the time. How have you grown in the business as a person? Yeah. And as a CEO?
As a person, I've had to have significantly more patience. Patience is not a thing that I have, like, at all. I want what I want. I want it when I want it. And that's the thing too, is like, I pay well for it, right? Like, I am very much like hey, like, I am covering this. This is done. Whatever it costs, I'll take care of it. You don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's one of those things, that's just like, I patience has been so big, for what I've had to learn as an individual, as a CEO. I think what I've had to learn most is that, like, I can't buy loyalty. And so like loyalty is the like number one thing when I interview people that I am looking for is like their loyalty to this brand. How excited, what research did they do? And I mean, this is typical interview shit, right? You could fake the fun. I teach people this all the time. You tell them you love them. Make them think they are the best person and the best company and the best whatever in the world. But like truly, I can't buy loyalty. And so through people that we have hired, that's been one of the big things is like whether or not people are like, I will do, it's like anything for Selena's. That is what I need.
That's what you
I need anything for Shaque'l, anything for Six Figure Chick. Like that is like that because it's just hard. Like you know what I'm saying? And it's where you run into issues, you know, to when people are bought into the mission of the organization, to what they're doing, you know, that's going to make a difference in the outcome of the work. Like the work we do is so tedious and tiring.
It is.
Honestly, like talking to people every single day. And we take on so much of the things that are going on in their lives, right? People will talk to us and be like, you know, my dog and my kid and I lost my job and you know all of these things. It's so like people cry on calls all the time. So like it's just such heavy like work. I can't pay you enough money for you to do that if you do not actually believe in the mission of this business and want to do that work. There's not an amount of money. At some point you'd be like, I am so fucking tired of these whiny ass people and I never want somebody to respond like to fucking like refer to my clients, you know what I'm saying, in my community. But I know that if you weren't right for the business, that's the thought. It'd be like, God damn, they always whine. And it's like, right, but like we know that we're like, no, these are my people. I'll do whatever it takes to help them and to get them, you know, where it is that they need. So like that's patience as an individual. Then I cannot buy loyalty as a CEO.
That is right. What has been your highest moment in your business? Like the highest moment, like the highest. What Travis Scott, is that Travis Scott highest in the room? Highest in the room.
I know. I feel like an old lady. People ask me about music. I'm like,
but when you listen to music,
I'm still listening to like Lil Wayne, Carter 3, babes. Oh. This is like I'm not.
I
haven't moved forward yet. I feel like it hasn't. Not that it hasn't happened. I'm sure there's a version, but like I feel like it's about to be Six Figure Weekend. Like you know what I mean? Like I feel like I love people, and I'm so excited about the transformation that we're about to have, like provide for these people, and for them to like get to experience and. It is just seeing them even now, like, you know, we have private LinkedIn groups and stuff and just seeing them like, I'm so nervous and I'm so this and like, that's the first thing that we're tackling is like, hey, you deserve to fucking be in here. So like that to me is about to be it. But what it would have been before, I think is the first, it was probably the first time somebody told me that they got a job from like doing what we've said to do and like hearing the transformational stories. Like I love getting people more money. My goal is I want you to fucking get as much money as you possibly can. But I love even more hearing that like you can take your kid and their friends to the movies. You know what I mean? I love hearing even more that you got to take a vacation for the first time with your family. Like, you know what I'm saying? That you got to buy a car that was like safe for you and your children to drive. Like, you know, those are the things that I'm just like, this is the best thing that I could ever be like doing. This is the best use of my talent and of my time. And being so grateful for my team and for the community for allowing us to help them in that way. Like that shit is the tippy fucking top, man. Every time we get, you know, we have our Slack channel with like our client testimonials and like, you know, whatever's. And it's just like every time I get to see one of those come through, and they're always so generous with their like what they tell us. And I'm like, yes, like I am so like, because they're even sometimes like, Shaque'l, I got a job. And I'm like, okay, girl. But like when people are just like, yo, like this is what this experience has allowed me to do. We had one that came through recently where a lady who worked with Kate said that her job was paying her entire department 20% under the like industry standard. They figured it out. They brought forth, you know, stuff to say, hey, look, we researched, they did what they were supposed to do. The company was like, girl, fuck you.
Be like, nah, we don't care.
Like, here's $1,700. This counts as your annual raise though. This doesn't count as a pay adjustment, which is what should have happened. A salary adjustment and a raise are two different things. So they were like, this is counting as your annual raise. So when it's time for raises, you can't get any more money. And this is all, and $1,700 was not the 20% difference. And so from the work that we got to do together, like she got a new job. It's paying her like $72,000 a year. She got to take her manager with her to this new company. She is getting to build an entire team herself. Like that, I'm like, I will do this all day if that is what I get to do, you know? So like, it is beautiful. It is very beautiful.
We just had a client testimony from, I think Karen Sims, right before here.
Yeah.
And so it was long. And you mentioned that they are genuine. They really are.
Baby, be long than a bitch. And I'm like, I'm going to read it. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to read every single word.
And I'm like,
baby,
all right, cool. So I'm skimming. I'm like, all right, just let me screenshot this and show y'all. But, you know, she did the work and she's one of the DIY people. So she's watched like most of like all of your TikToks.
Yes.
You know, taking, you know, whatever you have to say, you know, to heart.
Yeah.
And so, you know, optimized her own resume, optimized, you know, her LinkedIn and just got like a $20 or $25,000 increase. And she said, y'all amazing. Keep doing what you do. All of that.
This shit works. It works. Like that's the upside. Really, is that I'm like, it fucking works. If you just do what the fuck I asked you to do, you will get the outcome. And I'm always so like, I'm super proud of people that like my marketing like agency hates it because they're like, you got to stop telling people that they can get it without paying you. And I'm like, well, they can though.
I'm like, they
can. And like, that's the thing is like, and I'm cool with that because like that to me, this is my give back, right? My give back is that I'm gonna make sure you got everything that you fucking need to try to do it yourself. If it does not work, hey, please come pay the experts. We're experts for a reason, but like the people that put in the fucking work, they get the outcomes. And it's just like, thank you for the validation that like, cause sometimes, you know what I'm saying? As a business owner, like this is not a question anybody asked, but like, it is so hard not tying like your worth to like the business.
Oh yeah.
And how much money the business like makes. You know what I'm saying? When you're an employee, it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna get paid regardless. Right. Like I'm gonna get paid. It doesn't matter. I have some little KPIs, but like, it's just like, I feel like sometimes, and I struggle with it a lot of like my worth being tied to how well the business performs, whether that's money or whether that's outcomes for people. And so sometimes, you know, when people are like, I didn't get the job, Shaque'l. I've been trying. I've been doing like whatever. It's so hard on me because like I'm just, my brain is like, I don't know what to do. I want to offer you everything. I want to do everything. And it's like, I can only do what it is that that I can do. But like as a business owner, you have to separate yourself from the success of the business and from the success of your clients. Like I try not to ride the highs either. I try not to be like, we did it. That's when like they do the thing. I'm like, no, I'm so proud of them. Like they fucking did that. But also in the same breath, I can't take on the like weight of the lows of like, oh, like I've been trying this for 6 months. And it's just like, yeah, like I understand. And also I feel like a majority of that comes from people who aren't working directly with us just yet. Right. They're following our content. They're trying to use that. And I get that people like, they need economical options. And so that's what works for them. That's why we put the content out. But that's a little tidbit that nobody asked me about is like, separate yourself. You are not the business. You are not like your worth is not based off of how much money you can or you like can't make. You know, we have like lulls in the business and there are times when things go fucking great and there are times when I'm like, I will put a fucking hole through this wall. It varies. It fucking varies
from day to day.
We just never know. But it's just like I can't, like my therapist like used to give me shit because I would sit and like refresh. I would watch Shopify all day because you can see. So like fun fact, in case anybody was wondering, we can see y'all on the site. We see you and not checking out. I can see it. I can see you add to cart and then not check out. It pisses me off every time. So like I used to sit and watch that shit and like refresh. I was just like, let me see if somebody gonna check out. And like my therapist was like, hey, you're kind of doing what people do in casinos. You should stop. You shouldn't open that. I think you can check it. Like, cause like, I think we had a week where like, we made like no money. Like there were days at a time and we generally don't go days at a time. We're making $0. We made $0 across some days. And then finally we like but within the 7-day like time frame, we did like 20K because we had like one really good fucking day. And she was like, okay, so just think about this in the grand scheme of things. Had you not been checking this shit every day, your anxiety wouldn't have been fucking on 10 every day. Because look, at the end of the day, it all worked itself out. And every month, every 6-figure month we have ever had, we have had at least 3 days where we made $0. So do with that information what you will. But every most successful month for us, we have absolutely had days where there's nothing that's come through. And it's funny because then the lower months to me, every day makes money. Like every single day makes money. But like in any of our 6-figure months, like there's at least 3 days where we made fucking nothing. So just don't stress yourself out about it. That's the answer. Don't stress.
Don't stress it.
Hold it together. Just a little bit longer. Okay.
Any final thoughts that you have for anybody else trying to go from side hustle to CEO?
Don't let people bullshit you, man. Like, don't, like, seriously, like, people will be like, you know, I say it all the time on TikTok. I'm like, yo, like, everybody's not made to be a fucking entrepreneur. Everybody's not fucking made to be a CEO. Like, so please do not let people gaslight you into like, I have to own a business and I have to, and then motherfuckers that are like, open an LLC, you'll get an iPhone, but you won't get an LLC. Bitch, I don't know how to run a business. Why would I need an LLC? The iPhone is for fun. Like, this is, why are you mad at me about this? Like, I don't just invest in the stocks. And I'm like, what fucking stocks? So it's just like, I would like, do not let people gaslight you into starting a business or quitting your job too fucking soon. Like, I made interesting life choices. They all pan themselves out. We're good with that. But like, no one bullied me into making that choice. I left because I was ready to leave. I left because I was like, I need to go. Like and like, I am known for quitting a job quickly and swiftly. Like, baby, people love to like corral, like, you know, people at work will talk shit and be like, they do this and I'm going to quit. I am the only motherfucker that's ever quit. Like and I've done it in like 4 jobs and I'm like, why do you bitches not come with me? Like, what is this?
I'm like, oh,
yo, we all sat there and just said we were going to quit and then nobody quit. Nobody quit. It was just me. Like, so I just, baby, I am queen of quitting a job. So it's just like, don't let anybody gaslight you into like, you need to quit your job now. You need to, if you quit your job, you could focus more on this. No, you need money to sustain your life. So that way you do not feel like you are fucking like dying and losing your shit the one time your business doesn't make, you know, enough money. I will also say that, you know, everybody's like, oh, you want to be a 6-figure entrepreneur, 6-figure CEO. And like, I probably wouldn't quit my job. If I could, I would not quit my job until I was making like at least $150K. As if it's in a service-based business, because again, about a third of your money or 30%, give or take, is going to go to taxes. So like, remember all of the expenses. So a lot of people are like, oh, I just want to have like, you know, I just want to be, you know, $100,000. Like, great. You are going to net like 50K. Yes. And I don't think you want to live off of $50,000. So I need you to like work towards getting and making more money before you decide to make those types of like adjustments. Would be some of the big things. I'm trying to think of other stuff that like my brain is like, you have to do this. You have to do this. Get good at marketing and sales. Like that's how we have been so successful. It's like, I'm a seller. So my corporate job, was that I was a sales trainer for TikTok. And before that I was a sales trainer at Google. And before that I was a sales trainer for, you know, another tech company. And so I do sales. And so I know how to talk to people. I know how to get people excited about something. And so if you can do that well, then like you'll be okay. But a lot of people aren't super great at selling and then they aren't great at marketing either. And it's like, how people gonna find you, baby? How they gonna know to buy something from you? Like this is, and so yeah, if you can build community, like I said, I started gaining traction on TikTok probably in like October. And I didn't start selling I started doing it in like August. I didn't start selling until like October, November. And I really want to say it was November. So between August and November, I didn't sell a thing. I just, let me tell you about this. Let me give you this answer. You know what I mean? Just helping people, giving them insight, giving them knowledge, so I built a community. So when I finally was like, hey, I'm thinking about, you know, selling this, like, what, you know, would y'all want to, cause I can't prioritize all of you. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. There's, you know, literally probably at the time, you know, tens of thousands of you and like one of me. So like, if I charge $15, like, would y'all pay it? And everybody was like, hell yeah. And so like, to be very clear, I charged $15 one time. And the immediate next time I opened my books back up, we jumped to 75. And I felt so bad. I was so nervous. Like I was like, nobody's gonna pay it. They're gonna think I'm just stealing from the community and I don't want to help it. Oh my God. And people paid it. We sold out again. We were selling out in a way that like every first Friday of the month at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time is when we had to release slots for the month. And we sold, it was like Black Friday, man. I would wake up and just stare at Shopify and like see it's like 100 people are on the site right now. And I'm like, yes. So like, that's, you know, it's just building community, because then when it was like I provided them value well before I ever asked them for money from them. And then they were willing to pay it because they knew how much I knew. They knew how much I was willing to help and how much I was willing to put forth. And we raised our prices, you know, over about a year, maybe. And, you know, not in a like hair flip kind of way, but like I went from doing $15 resumes to the last time I took a client charging $1,500 for 1 hour of my time and one resume from me. That took a year. Yeah. Like in a year. And I don't think personally that it needed to be scaled in that way, but I was scared. Like I was just like, oh, I don't know if they're going to pay it. I'm going to be a bad guy if I don't give to the community and make it all free and da-da-da-da-da. And so I slowly, like I said, 15 to 75, 75 to like 200, 200 to 300, 300 to 500. 500 to probably 800. And then the $800 ones were done by somebody other than me. Right. But if you wanted one-on-one time with me, that was the $1,500 offer. So it took us about a year to scale to that. But honestly, I could have started charging $500, and within a certain amount of time, I could have easily like flipped that up, and people would have paid it, because people pay it today. Like, don't get me wrong, like that's, and I know you're like one thing and I'm like seven, but there's so many things to tell y'all, but like people will pay the fucking price. The price is the fucking price. Like people will pay the fucking, I have people in my comments every single day. Go find our TikTok at Six Figure Chick Consulting. Go find it. Go click into the comments and see how many comments you see that are like, this is too expensive. $800 for a resume, $1,000 for a resume. I'm not paying this. Shit, somebody do.
Somebody does.
Every time.
Find your own audience.
What? If somebody does. Like, and again, I don't feel bad about my prices because I give to my community all the time. Right. Because I know that I'm giving them so much information, you know what I'm saying, to where they truly can do it themselves. People have made $50,000 salary increases from free information from us. So like, yeah, if that's what somebody could do for free, you're damn right I'm charging you $1,000 fucking dollars. You want to work with me? Look at what people could do doing it by themselves. You want to work with me, it's going to cost you. It's a premium, baby. It's it's going to have to be a thing. So like, that would just be my like wrapped up last bit of tidbit of information, is that I would, your price is your price. People will pay it. You have to make sure you're marketing to the right people and that you like hold like your ground on that. We have never lowered our prices.
Absolutely.
We have ran one sale, and it was because I felt bad for not doing a Black Friday thing because other shit got fucked up. So that was a courtesy. Yeah. That was like okay, here you go. But like, that is the one time, but like, we don't do discounts. We don't do sales. And like, we have consistently made more and more and more and more money. Like we're not making any less money now. And the upside to raising your prices is you can take less clients. Yep. So that's again, there's the whole so much shit. I could do this for 2 hours, but apparently I need to shut the hell up. So back over to you.
Well, you heard it here first at your favorite Six Figure Chick podcast. This weekend is going to be so good. Yeah. So this is the weekend of Six Figure Weekend, and by the time this launches, you will all have
all the content,
see how much fun we have. But genuinely, I am thankful to be interviewing you.
Thank you.
And you now hear the glitz and the glamour. I'm pretty sure the highs and the lows. We'll talk about it more. Yeah. But this is truly going to be a high moment for you. Yeah. It's truly going to be a high moment for us, the team. You deserve like a 2 week.
We gotta take some.
We can squeeze it out. Like,
we'll figure it out. My birthday is coming up. We're gonna have to make something work.
Like, we just need to go someplace. Like,
we just gonna make great. Nah, it's gonna be good.
But yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Thank you. Me too.
This is your from Side Hustle. Steve?
Absolutely. Hey y'all.